Have you ever saw a really good looking girl and thought to yourself, man, I wonder if she likes me? So many guys wonder if there is a way to truly know if a girl likes them, and the answer to that question is definitely yes, but only if you actually know what to look for. And guess what? Most guys have absolutely no idea what to look for. The truth is that girls always give off little hidden signals or indicators when they like a guy or think that he is attractive. And if you know what these little signals are and actually watch for them, you will be able to do something that most guys can't. And that, my friend, is a powerful thing. Now, before we get into what these little signs are, there is something super important that you have to understand. And it's that girls by default are not the ones who make the move. And when I was much younger, I never really understood this. And there were times when me and my buddies would be around a few girls that we just met, and there was usually at least one of them who would pretty much give off all of these little signals. But I never really knew what the signals were, so I never really knew what to watch out for. So what you have to understand is that signals without action are completely useless. So in other words, if you see girls giving you these signals, you have to actually take action on it and make some moves. That is, of course, if you like her. So the first sign might seem kind of obvious, but it is actually a very subtle cue, and it's acting submissive. One of the subtle signs that a girl likes you that most guys don't really recognize is occasionally lowering her chin down while looking up at you and smiling. Now, I know that you guys have all seen the girls in the Japanese cartoons and how they are always lowering their chin and looking up at you with big eyes. And this is by no means an accident. And girls do this simply because it is a subtle form of submission. And in girl code, what she is basically saying is, hey, come chase me. And a little bit of chasing is actually really fun, and that is what ignites attraction. And it is the foundation of flirting. And if you play your cards right, when a girl gives you this signal, basically telling you to come chase her, then go ahead and engage in the chase. And eventually, if she likes you back, then she'll stop running. Now, acting submissive is a huge but very subtle sign that most guys miss, and it can take a variety of forms. But the secret core message that the girl is always trying to send when doing this is exactly the same. And she is basically saying to you, hey, come get me. Now, some other subtle ways that girls act submissive when they are attracted to a guy include something as simple as taking up less space, which means keeping their arms and legs much closer together. Now, something else that they might also do is tilt their head and give you a weird look or a smile at the same time. And some other secret ways that girls like to show submission around a guy involves opening their eyes wider while looking at you. Now, the second subtle sign that 99.9% of girls give off if they like you involves stroking something. And no, this does not mean what you're probably thinking. Now, many girls, when around a guy they find attractive, will stroke the necklace that they're wearing or something else like their hair. Now, why do they do this? Nobody really knows, and honestly, nobody really cares. All that you need to know being a guy is that it's something that they do when they are attracted to you. Now, the next time that you're around a girl who you think likes you, pay close attention to this and you will most likely see her doing all of these things. Now, next up is the third thing that girls only do when they like a guy or when they are attracted to him. And this thing is talking more. When a girl is in the presence of a man that she finds attractive, all sorts of love chemicals are released within her brain. And one of these chemicals is dopamine, which also happens to be the same chemical released in the brain when a person is high. And this sign can be kind of hard to spot unless you know how much the girl typically talks when she's around someone who she is not attracted to. But if you notice, a girl starts talking far more often than what would be considered normal when she is around you, or if she seems to be doing anything that she can to keep a conversation going with you, then she most likely likes you or is attracted to you. Now, next up is the fourth thing that a girl only does if she likes you or if she thinks that you're good looking, and it involves acting overly feminine. Now, once again, this is a very subtle sign, so if you don't know what you are looking for, it's pretty easy to miss. So acting feminine doesn't sound very specific, does it? And the best way that I can describe it is basically when a girl does things in a kind of dramatic way. And this is especially true for how she talks. For example, instead of just saying something in a normal way, they will say it in a way that makes it seem more dramatic than it really is. But this is done in a positive kind of way. And basically every guy on the planet at some point has been around girls who act like this. And this dramatic, girly behavior is exactly what I mean when I talk about acting feminine. Go spend some time around a group of girls and pay attention to how they act around each other as opposed to when they are alone. And you will definitely start to understand what I'm talking about. So when I say act feminine, it is like how they act when in a group, but far more pronounced. And now you're probably wondering, why is it important to be able to recognize these signs? And the reason why it is so important is because girls by default are not the ones who make the moves. And this is super important to know because most females will do some or all of these things if they like you or if they find you attractive. But here's the kicker. If you completely miss these signals and you do not act on them, the girl will just move on quickly and send the signals to the next guy who can recognize them and who will act on them. And while this might not seem fair, it is just simply the way things work. So if you can recognize these subtle signs and act on them quickly, you can avoid the mistake that most guys make and take advantage of opportunities when they come your way. These are 4 subtle signs that a girl likes you, or 4 things that girls only do when they find you attractive. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out the link in the description to pick up some of our super unique t-shirts and hoodies, which is a great way to support the channel. And with that said, until next time, thanks for watching.